The shepherd left the flock to find the one lost sheep. The woman turned the whole house upside down looking for the lost coin. How does it feel to know that God isn't content with the flock, but he cares enough to come looking for you? Andy passed the note about the buzzer down to Amanda, and she smirked and showed it to Matt next to her. He leaned forward and flashed Jake a grin and a thumbs up. So, if we're vessels of Christ, if we're supposed to be working for and with him, what should we be doing? Gary went on. Looking for coins? Ben Harper, a senior, asked. Everyone laughed. Gary didn't mind. He was like a kid himself, always horsing around with them and not afraid to get dirty. One of the times Jake had gone over the canoe, Gary had pretended that he was trying to save him and had gone in after him. He had practically drowned Jake in his attempt, and that had gotten even a bigger laugh. But tonight he was on a roll. Specifically, we should be looking for lost people. Christ came to seek and to save that which was lost, guys. And his children, we should be doing the same. He lowered his voice the way he always did when he wanted them to lean in, listen hard. To do that, guys, we have to start hearing like God hears. We have to hear their needs. We have to hear their souls crying out. We have to believe that we have the cure, the map home, the answer to all their questions. The snapshot had made its way to the back row, and Jake heard some chuckles back there. Gary just kept talking. People, listen. This is important. I'm starting a class on evangelism, soul winning. I want those of you who feel you need to learn how to share your faith to come to this class tomorrow afternoon. It'll only be an hour, right at first. We'll learn some scriptures that'll help you witness to your friends, and we'll talk about ways we can reach people at school and all around us. It's at 4:30 right here tomorrow. I need all of you I can get. After a couple of weeks, we'll start going out to practice sharing our faith on real people. He paused for a moment, as if waiting to see if anyone would jump out of their seat and beg him to sign them up. When no one did, he slapped his knees. Now let me see that picture. It must be good. Jake felt a little embarrassed. He always thought Gary couldn't see what they were passing around. He hoped it hadn't hurt his feelings that they'd been doing something besides listening. After all, it was as if they were living in two separate universes sometimes. Gary at the front of the room in his spiritual mode, and them in their seats, dealing with reality going on around them. If anybody understood that, Gary did. Gary found the picture and burst out laughing. He held it up. Everybody see this? The group rolled in laughter, and several of the kids made wisecracks about Jake finally getting his. Thank goodness I saved him, Gary shouted. Jake, did you see a doctor about that vertigo? He just couldn't stay in that boat. Jake stood up and took a bow as the group chided him. Then he pretended to lose his balance again and tip over. When Gary could be heard again above the commotion, he raised his hand to get their attention. Let's close with a prayer, guys. He practically had to yell the answer over the snickers about Jake, and the minute he said amen, Brandon at the back of the room pressed the play button on the stereo and started the Supertones cassette. As a youth got up and began gravitating into their cliques, the transition from spiritual quiet to reality's deafening roar was quick and easy. Chapter 2. That night, reality faded again in the recesses of Jake's sleep, and he had a dream. He was in it, yet he was only a spectator, standing back and watching. He saw his grandmother milling around her house, looking for something under her cookie jars and behind her toaster, picking up rugs and kicking aside trash cans. She was always losing her keys, he thought, so his eyes swept over the tabletops and hooks on the wall. He saw them hanging right where they were supposed to be, but she walked right past them and kept searching. And then she wasn't his grandmother, but some strange woman he didn't know, and she was getting frustrated and upset, searching. She cried out in joy as she saw what she had been seeking and fell down to grab it. It was a quarter, a stinking, lousy quarter, and Jake wanted to tell her that she'd wasted a lot of time and precious energy going to all that trouble for something that wouldn't even buy a burger. Quickly, he was jolted from the old